It's fucking horse! Here's a movie that will make you say what the fuck over and over again. Aeon Flux started off as a series of animated shorts on MTV late at night, and critics hailed it as one of the most unique ideas in the 90s. Well, in the early 2000s, when every movie studio was making a comic book movie, MTV had to get in on the action. So they took the one property they owned and tore it to shit. Well, let's see how nonsensical this movie really is. This is Aeon Flux. Well, the movie starts off with it spelling out the plot. Yeah, I came to watch a fucking movie, not read a book.
Some call Bregna the perfect society.
Wait, now you're narrating the plot? I guess it wasn't enough for us to read it. You have to tell us it at the same time? Well, basically, there's only a few million people left in the world because they all died off from some disease. The world is ran by a government called the Good Childs. But not everybody likes the Good Childs. There's a rebel group known as the Monarchans, which our hero Aeon Flux, played by Charlize Theron, fights for. At this point, I would like to introduce you to our first fucked up moment of the movie. She runs into this guy, super randomly kisses him, he passes her over some kind of bean thing, and then just walks away. If you were trying to be non-suspicious, you epic failed. Not only that, but the bean thing explodes in her stomach, sends these shockwaves to her brain, and then out of nowhere she's in this like secret meeting. Well, how the fuck does that work? So I figure she must have passed out and seizuring at this point. But no! Apparently she can just walk around like normal while this is all going on in her head. That doesn't make sense. She ends up getting a mission to take out the secret surveillance facility of the Good Childs. And I gotta say, for a movie in 2005, there's some really shitty camera techniques to show the action. So she breaks into the facility and it ends up being this weird pawn-like thing. But they work like security cameras. So she drops this weird glowing egg thing into the pond and then it erases everything. What the fuck? I would be cool with this if the movie explained what the hell was going on. The movie then cuts to her sister making supper waiting for her to come home, but opens the door just to get a shot to the face. So I'm thinking, okay, the Good Childs are onto her and they killed her sister to send the message, right? Again, no, because they walk right past her with her sister's dead body and don't even focus in on her. Well, what was the point of that? So being pissed off, she goes to her handler and asks permission to kill Good Child for revenge, which she is granted, in the weirdest way possible.
I'm ready.
Okay, what the fuck is going on in this movie? This is one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. So she teams up with this chick who has hands for feet. I mean, yeah, that's weird, but I'm pretty unfazed by this point. We then get this action scene of the two of them trying to infiltrate the government facility. And I can't believe that they used this scene multiple times in the movie trailer to try to make it look awesome. Because it's ass! So they get to the facility and Aeon's like, I got it from here. So that chick just stays behind. What? Why the fuck did she come then? Meanwhile, the Good Child brothers are having a conversation on whether to bring democracy back to the world. Trevor would like the world to go back to the way it was, where Oren, on the other hand, likes the way things are. As Trevor's contemplating his life or some shit like that, Aeon Flux shows up to assassinate him and complete her mission. But immediately after she pulls a gun on him, she totally pusses out because she thinks he's attractive or some shit, and totally lands her ass in jail. Okay, granted, I don't know what a moniker is, but if she is one, she sucks ass at it. And then the way she breaks out is redonkulous. She whistles into the vent, these water driplets become these weird metal balls, they escape out of the vent and go by people and they don't give a shit. They all stack up against each other on the wall and then they blow the wall up. That is fucking horse. I love how this movie doesn't explain any of its future tech, because it's the future and you should just accept it. Oren's scared shitless because they arrested this chick and she escaped no problem. So he orders everyone on a crazy manhunt to find Aeon Flux. So on the run, you'd think she would go to the last very place they could ever find her. Instead, she goes to try to kill Trevor again. Instead of pussying out this time, she decides she's gonna sleep with them. So during the middle of them having sex, she finally remembers, oh yeah, this guy killed my sister. And finally kills him. Only took you 3 times. It's pretty shit for an assassin. While she's escaping the good childs, there's another weird future tech scene. Except this one's funny because she doesn't even know what this is. Like, everything she's used up to this point in the movie was cool, but this is weird? Well, it makes her invisible and she ends up having this really shitty fight scene. Well, it turns out that Trevor is actually not dead. Did Aeon not check his pulse before she left? So that chick with the hands for feet finds out that Aeon did not accomplish her mission and threatens to kill her. So Aeon escapes onto this giant weird blimp thing. The monikers all decide that they must take out Aeon Flux because she knows too much. Meanwhile in the blimp, this weird guy tells her that her sister might actually still be alive somehow. She thinks she has found the location of her sister when all she finds is this baby. We then find the shocking truth.
You cloned her.
I cloned everybody.
Really? Well, who cares? Seriously, by this point in the movie, this is so irrelevant to anything else. Trevor and Aeon decide to team up because Trevor's brother Oren wants him dead, and everybody wants Aeon Flux dead. We get this really drawn-out climax, Mexican standoff style. The monikers are all snipering out Goodchild's men, and Goodchild's men are all snipering out Aeon Flux. Then we get this really weird scene where Aeon Flux starts scratching her back that has this weird pebble in it, and then the chick with hands for feet starts scratching the same pebble, which leads them to that secret meeting room again, and Aeon Flux convinces her not to kill her. Well, the monikers don't kill Aeon Flux, but they end up killing Oren. And then everybody starts going apeshit on each other. You know, it doesn't really matter who dies in this scene because I'm not emotionally attached to any characters at this point. After that battle, Trevor tells Aeon that he must go to the blimp and destroy all the species so they can never be clones ever again. She ends up planting these explosives, which actually look like explosives if you can believe that. The thing blows up with her inside and crash lands. Well, she couldn't possibly survive that. Oh wait, of course she fucking did. With no explanation. Aeon and Trevor decide that they're gonna start civilization over the right way. Starting with the two of them being happily in love. So what are my final thoughts on this confusing fucktard of a movie? What was the fucking point? At not one point in this movie did I ever care about the plot. And yeah, I got it. It just wasn't interesting at all. And it was really weird, but just for the sake of being weird. Usually I say something about a saving grace, but this movie doesn't have anything. Maybe Charlize Theron being hot, but that doesn't really count. I was gonna give it a hot Charlize Theron out of 10, but instead it gets a fucked up Frances McDormand. Stay tuned next time when we go over... Like us on Facebook.com/neckbeerreviews, and please click the button below to subscribe.